Under reports, food service report, and welcome Mr. Kessler.
I'd like to thank the board for allowing me to make this presentation on food service. Last year, we served a total of 1,788,844 meals. We did it out of 23 buildings. We have 106 employees, all trained in food safety. 41 have advanced training in food safety. And I brought the coordinators tonight, Daniel Parton and Elaine Adams. Breakfast, we charge $1.50 per grade level. Lunch is $2.75. Middle school is $3. I forgot to put the food cost per meal on, but at the elementary school, it's $1.27 per meal. Lunch is $1.78. Middle and high school is $1.40, and it's $1.99 for lunch. All meals are served in compliance with the United States Department of Agriculture, referred to as the USDA. The National School Lunch Breakfast Program meal pattern requirements, along with Board of Education policy. Most people don't realize that our department is self-sustaining, meaning we cover our own expenses with federal reimbursements and program sales, without additional support from the general fund. School meals are important because hunger affects students' ability to concentrate. Addressing hunger through school meal programs is vital to ensure students can focus on their education and reach their full potential. The food services resource page, you have access to the menus, link to free and reduced online application, link to Pay Schools Central, the new online payment system, and the orange icon you see is the Link Connect mobile app icon that can be found in the App Store. And you can see the online menu with it and filter the allergens out. You can see student transaction history and check students' balance. We also do lunch count balance and notifications weekly for negative balances. The components for lunch are fruit, vegetable subgroup, grains, meat alternate, and milk. The vegetable subgroups are dark green, red, orange, beans, peas, and lentils, starchy, other vegetables, and additional vegetables from any subgroup. We do offer alternate meals such as gluten-free, egg-free, dairy-free, and soy-free. Under offer versus serve at lunch, we must offer all 5 components to students. Must choose at least 3, with 1 component being a fruit or a vegetable. Offer versus serve is required for lunches in high schools, but optional in middle and elementary schools, and it's not required for field trips. If you look at the picture in the center, the student with their arms raised, screaming, is finding out that they can have pizza more than 1 day a week. But we do, however, suggest a variety. The components for breakfast are fruit, grains, and milk. Under offer versus serve at breakfast, we must offer 4 food items from the 3 required food components. Students select at least 3 of the 4 offered food items, with 1 being at least half a cup of fruit. Beginning July 1 of 2025, there were limits to added sugars in school breakfast. Breakfast cereals may have no more than 6 grams of added sugars per dry ounce. Yogurt may have no more than 2 grams of added sugars per ounce. And flavored milk may have no more than 10 grams of added sugar per 8 fluid ounces. Because of the shortened time and not wanting students to be late to class, breakfast is grab and go. Here are some examples of the type of breakfast that students can choose from. A la carte items are all non-meal items sold. An example would be a hamburger, bag of chips, or bottled water. In the a la carte item sold, the nutritional label has to be run through the Alliance for a Healthier Generation product calculator. This tells us if it is compliant or not. The food must meet the nutrient standards for calories, sodium, fats, total sugars. There are beverage standards for each grade level also. All grade levels can serve plain water, fruit or vegetable juice, 100% fruit or vegetable juice diluted, milk. In high school, only low-calorie, no-calorie beverages. with or without caffeine and/or carbonation, calorie-free flavored water. So Gatorade and sparkling ice would be examples of that. Our department takes pride in not only compliance with the Buy American requirements from the USDA, but also Ohio Proud in highlighting items produced or grown here in the state. We purchase products produced by Marzetti, which is based in Westerville. And Buy American only refers to food items. There are exemptions for items not grown in the United States or not enough grown in quantities. Bananas, pineapples, mandarin oranges, and kiwi are examples. We did the Farm to School Summer Challenge. When we offered fresh peaches, some kids hadn't seen a peach before. At first they thought they were moldy because they had peach fuzz. But our staff, along with the teachers, convinced them that they were fine to eat, and everybody ended up enjoying them. While we did participate in the Farm to Summer Challenge, we won the Silver Beet Award. This is because we did the Cucumber Crunch, and we served peaches from Bauman Orchard. We're currently working with Jeff Bracken at Westerville North High School and their garden to supply produce to the cafeteria at North. We're looking at hydroponic lettuce and bell peppers. In October, we did participate in the Apple Crunch. It highlighted local apples. We served apples from Bauman Orchard to students at all grade levels. Years ago, when we started looking into Farm to School, we saw Bauman Orchard at the Westerville Farmers Market. So we started buying apples, peaches, and plums from them. This past year, we had our administrative review where they go over every aspect of the program. They'll review applications, menus, a la carte binders. They'll come in and watch the menu service to make sure we're claiming meals correctly. We also, in addition to this, had a procurement review, and they make sure that we follow the federal procurement process. We also had our resource management review, where it looks at paid lunch equity, revenue of non-program foods, and indirect costs. All of these were closed with no violations. The administrative review, we received a commendation on the organization of our paperwork and the variety of our menu items. Over the summer, we upgraded some kitchens. All the equipment purchased was using funds from the food service account, not funds from the general fund. At Hanby, we went from serving on countertops to serving out of hot and cold wells. At Hawthorne, we added a steamer, upgraded the exhaust hoods, and installed prep tables. At Whittier, we added 2 combi ovens, upgraded the exhaust hoods, new prep tables, and installed a walk-in cooler similar to the one at Hawthorne. We're also adding hot and cold service wells that will be installed when Hanby's get installed. I would like to thank Charlie Boss for supplying pictures for the presentation. School meals are important because hungry students' ability to affects their ability to concentrate. Addressing hunger through school meal programs is vital to ensure students can focus on their education and reach their full potential. We will continue to replace equipment, upgrade serving areas to be more efficient in serving meals to our students. Our staff will continue to serve students nutritious meals in a friendly environment. And we will continue to look at new items and do taste tests to find out the most popular items while analyzing the menus to see what we need to be replaced. Any questions?
Thank you so much for this presentation. I really found it very helpful. We obviously know that eating habits have a direct correlation with students' academic performances as well. One of my questions just kind of pertains to the procurement review. Obviously, it's to ensure that we are being compliant, but could you kind of speak to the equity piece in terms of we're doing that to also make sure that we're giving different vendors an opportunity to contract with the district, correct?
That's correct. They went through all of our financials when it came to the purchasing piece, and they came up with 7 of our vendors, whether it be a micro purchase, a small purchase, a contract, and then they went through and they analyzed all of the transactions that we had with them. We made some corrections based upon their suggestions, and so we're doing what we're supposed to do.
Thank you so much. I just had a question about revising menus, and with our changing demographics in the district and different ethnicities sort of being more prolific inside of our district, how does that process work in terms of, you said taste testing, but like, could you outline that process a little bit about when you decide to rotate an item into the menu?
Well, usually what we'll do is I'll start looking at in the springtime, going over the sales, and you'll find that items that aren't that popular. And then through food shows or sales reps that come in, we'll look at new products. And then now that we have the two coordinators on board, and both of them are looking at the taste testing piece to go back to that. We have done that stuff in the past where we had raisels that we would, at the high school, we would take samples up and down the line while kids were waiting in there. And then I think we have brought in like pot stickers and chocolate sun butter for the elementary kids to taste. So,
Thank you.
Excuse me. Thank you so much, and thank you also for being here. That's amazing. Almost 1.8 million meals. So yeah, it's kudos. Thank you. The food, it really is a lifeline for so many of our kids. I remember during COVID how, we had to get meals to kids because we're keeping kids alive by feeding them every day. Mm-hmm. So thank you for doing that. And my question is just about the food preparation and the movement of meals throughout the day. Can you just give us a brief overview of where meals are prepared and how they're getting distributed across the district? Because I think a lot of people don't know.
Yeah, at the elementary level, we do what's called satelliting out. It comes out of South High School or Central High School. Those buildings, in addition to having a food service license from the health department, they have one from the Department of Agriculture. So they also get that inspection too. But the food gets cooked at the central kitchen, loaded into hot carts or cold carts, and then it gets shipped out to the buildings. One of the things that I'm trying to do, and we did it with Wilder, was add the cooking piece to them. We added another piece of equipment to Hawthorne because they already had a convection oven, so now they have a steamer to steam vegetables.
Great.
So.
Great, thank you. It's a amazingly complicated process that you all manage every single day. So thank you.
Thank you.
And your additions that you're adding, which I think you mentioned earlier, it comes from our food service money that you're able to invest back into that equipment. But I know you'd mentioned that the reason you're trying to add some of that equipment at the elementary is so they're able to keep the food warmer or fresher or do some of it on site. So it's still satellite in, but then being able to do some of that. And if you want to elaborate on that a little.
We're gonna elaborate. It's gonna be shipped in frozen. We did add freezer units, bigger freezer units to Wilder and Hawthorne. So they'll be able to cook more as needed. One of the disadvantages is the satelliting in. Some products out there don't hold up in a hot cart. So if they're going to be in there for 5 hours or whatever, they're still going to be food safe, but it might not be as quality. So the last child in line isn't going to get something that's same as the first child. So we're kind of, as we can move away from that, so that they can have the fresher food, that's one of the goals. And when I came back, Carrie knew that was one of the priorities that I did have.
And Brent, that would be Whittier, not Wilder, right?
Oh, sorry,
yeah,
Whittier.
I know we have a lot of elementaries and same
Been a long
letters, so
day.
thanks.
I just want to say thank you to the whole team. Over the summer I was in Westerville South for band camp, and I saw the massive undertaking in just one school that happens with checking every expiration date, stocking everything. It's a lot of work, and I just really appreciate all the work that you guys put into it. My question is something that I've heard a lot about, and I know we've answered this, but I think it would be useful to just answer it again. It's really around payment, and I know that we use a new system this year, but there's other ways that parents can send in money so that that can be loaded to their students' accounts. Could you just elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, I think on the food service webpage, you can correct me if I'm wrong, I think is it under pay schools or it's under negative balance, something like that. It actually has a list of like what you can do, like send in a check, that you can also use pay schools, but it kind of explains that part too. And I kind of overlooked that one.
Yeah, I know I've sent in, just for people that are watching at home, I've sent in cash to my son, and he's like, okay, I'll just get it loaded. And they've been really helpful, and I know that's probably a little bit of extra work for them, but just really appreciate the many opportunities that we provide families to be able to load money to their students' accounts through PayScale, check, and cash. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Thanks so much. Really appreciate it. That is a lot of food. No, thank you.
Thank you.